everybody, welcome to Travel Tech 101. My name's Richard, and this is part of your Celebrity iLearn experience on board. So here's the question. Some of you came in and said, okay, Travel Tech 101, what's this guy going to talk about today? So I'm going to tell you something interesting. What a lot of people don't realize, what do crew members do when they go home on vacation? Logical crew members. Any of you know? They go home, they visit their family, they sleep. You know what I do? I go on another cruise. It's a little weird.
No, you want to check
But
on the enemy, huh?
no, I went on another cruise, and I usually go on Royal Caribbean. So I usually go on Royal Caribbean, I go on Royal Caribbean, I go on Royal Caribbean because no one knows me. And my last vacation, when was it? It was December 9th, I went on the Equinox. And I spent 11 days on the Equinox, hanging out with the passengers, eating with them, not in uniform because I wasn't a crew member or anything like that. And I said, what are the things that you want to know about technology? And that's what this is all about. Does that make sense? The goal is, what are the things that normal people want to know about technology? Now, let's see if I have my favorite tool here. This is my favorite new gadget. It's called the no button. In the hospitality industry, we're never supposed to say no, so what I do is, no! I press it, and it says it for me. So if the answer is ever no, we're going to go there. But let's start with the most basic thing. How many of you on your device, your phone, your tablet, have the right time? No. How many of you have the wrong time? Okay. That's one of the things I want to tackle first. Now, the weird thing is, I'm always generally going to present with an Apple device, but these are all my phones as well. So, I got a Samsung. This isn't the one that explodes. This is the one before it. Got a Windows phone, an older iPhone, a Pixel, and my main one that I'm going to use is the iPhone 7 Plus, which in my opinion is the best phone in the world. The second one after it is not the iPhone 7, it's actually the Google Pixel, but the 7 Plus is the best phone in the world. But I want to talk about how to change the time first. That's a very simple one. Then we're going to go to some more complex and crazy things. Here's the most important thing to understand. On a cruise ship, your time is never going to change automatically. Number one. Number two, we don't really observe the whole time zone things. If you have an automatic time set on your watch or something like that, you're going to have to change that manually. Now, how many of you have changed the time on your phone or your tablet before? How many of you have gone in and actually gone from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 10 o'clock to 9 o'clock? Because you should never be doing that. What you need to do instead is changing the time zone. What happens if you go in and change the time manually? Let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. You're going to wind up with calendar events that are hours off in either direction and different things like that. So we should never manually change the time. I'm going to show you how to change the time zone. As I said again, for most of what we do in the classes, I will be using my iPhone or my iPad to show you, but I do have every device under the sun, so you're welcome to come up to me after the class and we can definitely have a little conversation about your device. I'm going to turn it sideways so we can see it a little bit better. So we're going to go into the settings on our device to start changing the time. Then we're going to go into General. And it should be very similar on the Samsungs and the other Androids. And then there should be something in the General settings that says Date and Time. And once we get there, the problem is most of you have it set to set automatically. How many of yours are off an hour either way? Probably an hour either way. How many of yours are off a lot more than that? A couple hours. Okay, we're good. Because the ship runs on Greenwich Mean Time. So the ship, the bridge, watch-keeping schedule, all of that's based on Greenwich Mean Time. What we want to do is we want to go ahead, we want to turn off set automatically. Okay. And where we go to time zone, we're just going to type in Aruba. And it'll say Origenistat, and that's exactly where we're going. So you type in Aruba. We are only changing time once this cruise. So all the ports we go to are on the same time we're on right now. And the day before you get off, actually the day you get off, at 2 o'clock in the morning we change that hour back forward. So you gained an hour of your cruise now, and your last night you lose, you gain it back. Yeah, you lost the hour, and you gain it back on the last night, so you get an extra little bit of sleep. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to turn off set automatically. On Android we'll say automatic set time zone. And for time zone you're going to type in Aruba, and it will change the time. What we never want to do, though, is we never want to go...
Though.
What's up?
You have to select the thing.
So you type in Aruba, yeah. You type in Aruba, and it'll take it, and you're good to go. Now, what you don't ever want to do is you don't want to go and scroll the time on its own, because guess what happens if you do that? All kinds of weird things mess up. Your calendars mess up, your email messes up, a lot of different things mess up. So as weird as this sounds, do we all have the time down now? Get the time, basically. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
my phone is in airplane mode, I can't do any of that.
Yes, you can. 100% you can. My phone's in airplane mode. If you hit on
I
general,
don't have Wi-Fi. I don't have one.
you don't need Wi-Fi on.
Don't even need one.
You don't need Wi-Fi. You hit general, date and time, turn off so automatically,
Oh.
and just type in Aruba. So you can just type in Aruba, and you've got that right there. Yes?
How about my watch?
How about your watch?
It does it automatically.
Well, here's the question. Your phone is on airplane mode, am I correct?
That's correct.
So what you need to do is airplane mode, which is where we're going to right now. I love that people write my classes for me. Turns off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You have to turn Bluetooth back on for your watch to get the correct time.
I've done it, and still hasn't changed.
Well, give it a second to reconnect. We'll talk about that in a second. We can take a look at it afterwards if your Apple Watch is set up there. But do we all have that basic premise there?
Yes.
Time, yeah, your question.
What date when the clocks change in the spring and
When this clocks change in the spring and the fall, it knows it.
fall?
It knows it. That's programmed in. Also, when you change the location, because they have British summertime, they have European summertime, those will change automatically. That's programmed in. It's kind of like if you were to look at your calendar for today. Today is President's Day. That's kind of one that's already built in there, because today's President's Day in the United States. I don't know what it is in Canada, but it's President's Day in the United States, because today's the 20th, right?
Yes.
Today's the 20th, so it's President's Day in the U.S. Yeah, it's Monday. It's Monday. President's Day, holiday. Nobody's listening. Yeah, no.
We're on
Did you say
vacation.
that we should turn Bluetooth back on?
We're going to there right now.
Okay.
So his problem in the back with his Apple Watch was his device, he put it in airplane mode. How many of you put your device in airplane mode?
I put out, yeah, I did.
How many of you did not put your device in airplane mode? That is the correct way to have your device when you're on a cruise ship personally, is in airplane mode. Now, how many of you, before you left home, you called your cell phone company and you said, I want to make sure I don't get any charges when I go on the cruise and I go to all these foreign places, right? And what did they have you do? They had you dig through menus and turn things on and turn things off and do all that. Why do you think they did that? To confuse you.
Thank you.
I'm a very honest guy. They did that to confuse you. Why would they want to confuse you? Because they want you to get roaming charges.
Yeah.
I bet you probably don't know how many of you from the States, I'm talking about people from the States, we'll get to Canada in a minute, how many of you from the States are still paying for a certain amount of gigabytes of data?
We have unlimited.
Everybody just switched to unlimited. You can now get unlimited on any of the 4 U.S. carriers for probably less than you're paying now. So you should take a look at that when you get back home. That's just a little, Verizon announced unlimited last week, and AT&T announced unlimited right after it, and Sprint and T-Mobile have always been unlimited, but good luck getting them to work. So that's the idea there. But I want to talk about airplane mode, because that's the right setting for you to be on. Now, when you turn on airplane mode, it turns off everything. I like to call airplane mode Edward Snowden mode. You know that guy who's hiding out in Russia? That's what I like to call airplane mode. It kind of makes you disappear. If you want to disappear, you'll turn on airplane mode on your device. So it is going to turn off what? It's going to turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cell phone, data, hotspot, GPS. Notifications, not really. And the last one is very interesting because they made a comment in the FCC about this a bit ago. It actually turns off as well the FM radio in your phone. You probably didn't know that your phones have FM radio in them. It's not enabled, it's there. There's a chip that's on the Bluetooth chip, but the iPod Touches and some of the little iPods can do FM radio, and it turns off all communications functions of your devices. But what a lot of people don't know is once you turn on airplane mode, you can go back and turn back on both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So we can turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth once we turn on airplane mode. So I always turn on airplane mode first, and then I go back and turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So then you can use it. Now we're going to go a little bit more into depth in a couple minutes, but we can go back. We can turn on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. Now you're not going to be able to touch on cellular or personal hotspot because it says you're in airplane mode. So you can't touch any of those, but you can always go back. You can turn back on Bluetooth and turn back on Wi-Fi. Now we all know what Wi-Fi is for, right? It's for connecting to the internet. But do any of us know what Bluetooth's for? Well, he has Bluetooth on his watch. Some of you have a Fitbit.
Connect
to
other
watch.
To connect to other devices? Well, Wi-Fi can connect to other devices as well. So an Apple Watch, different things like that. Now we're going to have a whole thing later on in the cruise on smartwatches, Apple Watches, Android watches. I don't wear one smartwatch. I actually wear two because I only have two wrists. And I'm sitting at the crew bar a couple months ago, and some guy is very busy. C-Day is very busy for me. He goes, "Oh, buddy, you look like you have a lot of time on your hands." I go, "No, I'm very busy." He goes, No, you look like you have a lot of time. So I always wear an Apple Watch, and this one is my watch in residence. This is a brand new watch that just came out. I've had it for less than 24 hours. This actually doesn't need airplane mode or Bluetooth or anything. This is a phone in itself, which is really quite cool. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody because it's gigantic, but yeah.
Now what is this?
Who makes
This
it?
is from Google. This is a brand new one from Google. It's called the LG Watch Sport, but that's a story for another day. So airplane mode turns them off, and you can go back and turn on Wi-Fi, or you can turn on Bluetooth. If you don't have a Bluetooth gadget with you, well, there's no real need to turn on Bluetooth. But if you have a pair of headphones, a pair of speakers, if you have a watch, if you have a Fitbit, if you have anything like that, you'd want to have Bluetooth on. Now, I want you to pay attention though to something. It'll only show right in this way. Let me see if I can make it show this way. I want you to see something very interesting though. I am in airplane mode with Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on. Oh wait, I forgot. My mom gave me this yesterday. She came while she visited us. Bluetooth. Wi-Fi. Airplane mode. But here's what's very interesting. I still have cell phone service. This is where things are going to hurt your brain a little bit. I promise you that. I'm going to show you. Someone showed me this yesterday. That like when I was in school, I used to do this. I had to try it at least once. But what you'll notice is I actually still have signal. Now this is available right now from all of the American carriers. It doesn't work on the non-American carriers, but I'm going to show the Canadians how to deal with this in a minute. AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, and Verizon allow you to do something called Wi-Fi calling. To do that, you need at least an iPhone 6 or later, or a Samsung Galaxy S6 or later. So you need one of those two devices, and you can actually do Wi-Fi calling. Now, what's cool about Wi-Fi calling, how many of you used Skype or something like that before? We've probably used that before. When you use that, you have to call Skype to Skype. Wi-Fi calling lets you just open up the phone. I'm gonna make a phone call to my mom real quick. We'll see if she'll pick up. Let's just open up the phone. This is the normal phone app. And I can maybe call my mom. Let's see if she wants to say hi. Come on, Mom. Pick up.
She's out, she's partying.
She's out partying? Yeah.
President's Day.
It's President's Day.
She's buying you a laser pointer.
She's I legitimately had no clue what this. Hi, Mother.
Hi, Rich. What's up, Rich?
You know this is the class when I say hi, Mother. You know that. Say hi to the class.
I know that. How's the diet going, Rich?
I'm on a ship, so I'm participating in what they call the seafood diet. You see it and you eat it. Now,
Okay, I think you didn't reach your circles yesterday.
I did? No, I did. I got my circles.
What?
My dad sent me, hold on, see my dad, there's my mom's diet yesterday. Uh-oh.
Too good.
She said that cheesecake was too good. Yeah, they just saw the picture of you having the cheesecake in Cafe Al Baccio. You didn't even know I actually have that with me.
Just,
Okay, I'm going to let you go.
you know.
Okay, bye, Mother.
Bye, class.
Okay.
And there's no charge for that?
So as long as you're connected to an internet of some sort, you will be able to have Wi-Fi calling. I'm going to show you how to set it up now, but as long there is no separate phone charge for it. It's very cool. I'm going to show, I know, where's the Canadians? We'll talk to the Canadians in a minute. Now the reason this only works for the Americans is because when you set it, I'm going to take that picture of my mom's going to kill me. When you set it up for the first time, you have to tell it your address. And it's so that the emergency 911, if I were to call 911 from this phone right now, they would send the police to my house in Miami. And that's not going to do us any good. So what's very cool, I'm going to show you how to set up. What's very different than Skype or Facebook or FaceTime or any of that, is I just called my mom's actual phone. I called her actual phone as it is. You can call any number just like you would on your normal plan. Now to set this up, you must very briefly go out of airplane mode, which is what I'm going to do. You don't need to follow me right now. But you can go out of airplane mode, and if you look down, you'll scroll down a bit, you'll see it'll say airplane mode. If you try and click on this, you'll see something that says phone. And then inside of phone, there's Wi-Fi calling. I just want you to know this is available right now. I'm going to be upstairs later. If you got any questions, I just want you to know it's available. And then you can turn Wi-Fi calling on. When you turn it on, if you have Sprint, AT&T, or T-Mobile, it's just going to ask your address. Very easy, very simple. If you turn it on and you have Verizon, it's going to ask you to jump through 17 hoops.
Oh, thanks.
And then it's very simple. But I'm going to help the Verizon people and the Canadians in a few seconds. So I can go through, and it's called Wi-Fi calling. It should be rolling out to the rest of the providers around the world reasonably soon.
So I need to turn.
Yeah, so
airplane
you
mode?
turn airplane mode off. You need to have an internet connection of some sort to do it.
You didn't turn airplane mode back
You need
on.
to turn airplane mode back on.
I turned it back on. That's what I just did. That's why I lost connection with the screen. It's because I turned airplane mode back on. And in a few seconds it will say T-Mobile Wi-Fi. So Canadians and Verizon people, how do we do this? So I'm going to show you a free application that lets you call any phone number in the US and Canada for free as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection of some sort. Now we have US, we have Canada, we have anyone else? No?
Is that gonna work on the ship?
Yes, it does work. I just did it on the ship. So, yeah.
So,
Of course. Yeah, it works perfectly
I
fine.
don't know whether you're paying $2.50 a minute or not.
No, so here's the great thing. I'm in airplane mode. So I'm in airplane mode, so I can't pay the $2.50 a minute. The thing is, this technology, and I'll answer yours, this technology has actually killed the people that are paying the $2.50, it's actually more than $2.50 a minute. It's only based on, so if you have an internet package of some sort, you go in and you're on airplane mode, it just uses your internet time. You can use it out in port if you want it to, that's why I'm showing this, yeah. It uses your phone to actually do that. Yeah, you had a question?
yes, when I turn airplane mode back on.
Yes, you turn airplane mode back on, and you'll notice I have airplane mode on. T-Mobile Wi-Fi calling for the Sprint people, it'll say Sprint Wi-Fi. For AT&T, they'll say AT&T Wi-Fi. Verizon's a big word, so they'll say VZW Wi-Fi up
Okay,
there.
I understand that.
Uh-huh.
Is it gonna pick up on my roaming that I'm gonna end up?
You can do it very quickly. You don't need to worry about it. I can walk you through it later on if you need me to walk you through it later on. It's not that big. It's not that huge of a challenge. But I want to make sure we get that because I want to show you the other way to do it that's actually somewhat the safer way to do it. The major difference between this way and the way I just showed you is this way is just going to come from an anonymous number. It's not going to come from your phone number. So this comes, what I just showed you comes from the same phone number you normally call people with. Now what you're going to notice, I'm a big fan of Apple, but I'm actually a bigger fan of Google. So I'm going to share with you a lot of interesting Google services and things like that. And here's what's cool. All of these Google services are going to cost you exactly
Zero.
that much to use. Because I want to teach you something right now so you understand where we're heading. I'm going to show you a bunch of stuff from Google. Now you notice when you buy stuff from Apple, you pay a lot of money up front, and that's how you do it. If you buy from Apple, if you buy from Samsung, you pay a lot of money up front. How many of you ever directly paid Google? I think none of us have ever directly paid Google. If you're not paying a company, you are the product. Does that make sense?
Oh, because they're using you for.
Because they're
everything.
using your information, they're using different things like that. That's okay. I just want you to understand that. If you're not paying the company or the product, the first of these Google applications I want to tell you about today is one for making phone calls. It's called Hangouts. Hangouts. That's for iOS people. Any Android people in the room? Android? Okay. If you have Android, it's just called Hangouts Dialer. That's the name of the application on Android. It's called Hangouts Dialer. Yeah.
And this is only for phone 6 or higher.
The Wi-Fi calling is 6 or higher. What I'm about to show you work on anything. It'll work on anything.
So Google Voice is not necessary anymore?
Google Voice is a bit nerdier, Vince, so we're not going to go into that right now. But Google Voice kind of gives you a fake number, and you can consistently do it from there. But Hangouts, as simple as it is, you download this app, Hangouts or Hangouts Dialer, and then you can just go ahead and you can dial. I'm just going to dial myself. 786-282-6979. I can dial any phone number, as long as I have internet, any phone number from anywhere in the world in North America for free. So this covers US, covers Canada, covers landlines, covers cell phone lines, covers all those different things for free. If I dial it, I'm just going to ring myself, which is a weird thing to do, but I'm going to ring myself because I'm calling myself, and it will dial it. Now, to use Hangouts, you must have a Gmail account. Now, it is very simple to make a Gmail account. I'm going to tell you something very briefly, and we're going to go back to this. Oh, I'm calling myself, so it's going to, yeah, it's calling me. That wasn't a good idea. It just puts it in weird call inception. I don't want to call my mom again. But how many of you have an account with Yahoo? Do you think that's a smart idea?
No, no, no.
How many of you have an account with AOL? You can admit it. I'm just going to press the no button again. Do you think that's a smart idea?
For the last time, no.
A new development that happened about 5 or 6 days ago. How many of you have an account with Outlook?
No.
Okay, simple thing. I'm going to go into a lot more detail later on. AOL is no longer AOL. It is Verizon. Verizon is stripping apart AOL and making AOL bare bones. There are actually this many people that still work on support in AOL's email department.
We're paying $8 a month.
You're paying $8 a month. AOL's been free for the last,
No, I
Well,
mean for
10
the
years.
support.
for the support?
For the support.
Oh, yeah, AOL's
The
been
one
free for
problem
most
we
people
had 2 years
for
ago.
quite a long time. Yahoo is being bought by Verizon as well, and is being sold off for parts. And 5 days ago, Outlook.com, MSN, Hotmail, however you want to call it, introduced a paid version that is $50 a year. What do you think happens to the free users when they introduce a paid version?
Yeah, they all go somewhere else.
They all go somewhere else. In your email providers, going forward, you have 3 choices. It's either Gmail, or if you don't like Gmail, guess what you got? Gmail. Or if you really don't like Gmail, guess what you got? Gmail. Because here's the thing. All of the other providers used to be search engines. When's the last time we used AOL, or MSN, or Yahoo to search something? We all use Google. Well, but Yahoo now uses Google search results. So Yahoo's now using Google search results. So the problem is all of these companies are just kind of, I'll give you an example. Verizon bought AOL and Yahoo combined, the two of them together, for less money than Facebook made in 3 months. That'll show you what they're worth as companies. So what happens is, as these companies have this, they start falling apart. There's not as many places to get your email, and that's why it takes forever to get your email when you leave the home country, not on board and stuff like that. Yeah?
I have Comcast.net.
Comcast. Oh, I didn't say the name right. Comcrap. Here, you don't actually have Comcast.net. You have Xfinity.
Yes.
When companies change their name, there must be something wrong. I will tell you, before I worked for Celebrity, I worked for a company called The Consumerist that was owned by Consumer Reports. We've all heard of Consumer Reports. And every year we would give out a golden piece of poo to the company in the United States that has the worst customer service. And guess who got the golden piece of poo the last 8 years? Comcast. Here's the thing. I am going to convince you, no matter what device you use, hopefully by the end of these 13 days together, that Google is the way to go. And honestly, it's because I feel that's the best for you. Now, I'm wearing a name tag that says, I'll get to you in 2 seconds, that says iLounge Manager. But the great thing is, I work for Royal Caribbean, not directly for Apple, so I can find out what works best for you guys. Does that make sense there? Your question in the back.
What if you got your own exchange server?
That is another nerdy question. You're fine on your own Exchange server. Don't worry about it. But you're running your own personal one, or it's a work one, or it's corporate. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Corporate. Yeah.
Wi-Fi free calling in North America.
Uh-huh.
Does that include the U.S. Virgin Islands?
Yes. That does include the U.S. Virgin Islands because I've had to call St. Thomas before, so that's why I can answer that question for you. It does include anywhere that any of those 4 providers have service, so you're fine because I know Sprint is in St. Thomas and the other islands. Yeah.
So are you saying if you now have Yahoo Mail, it's not gonna work soon?
So, here's a very, very interesting question. We're going to go into this a lot more in depth. I brought some other stuff I want to show, but we're going to have a whole class that's going to explain different emails and different things like that going on a bit later on. But here's the simple answer. Verizon has purchased AOL and Yahoo not for their mail, but for their content. They want to own Yahoo Sports. That's the #1 sports website in the world. They want to own the Huffington Post, which is something that AOL owns. Verizon is trying to compete with Facebook, so they're buying a lot of different things. Your email is going to change regardless within about a year or so to Verizon.net. You might as well change it. And I'm going to go, I have a whole class on showing you how to set up a Gmail, because I know your kids have been telling you for years, Mom, Dad, you need to get a Gmail account, because, and we'll get into that. But I want to show you some other stuff today. Don't worry, we've got all kinds of stuff on that. This is a weird part of the class. I want you to all go ahead, take your phones and tablets out, and take a picture of me. This is when we get to talk about pictures. Take a picture of me. I'm going to see if anybody's doing it correctly. Okay? Ooh, we got a good family right here. These two know what they're doing. Okay, we got Vince. He knows what he's doing. Vince was on last week. Okay, keep your camera up though.
Richard.
Keep your camera up. Okay, congratulations, you are doing it correctly.
Thank you.
A lot of other people are not doing it correctly. So, I want to show you why, because I'm not one that tells you that you're doing something wrong and not showing you why. So, here we go. I'm going to take two pictures. Now, the first picture I took this way, up and down, which is how a lot of us took the picture. This is designed for taking pictures of tall buildings. 98% of the time, I'm being generous, you're not taking pictures of tall buildings or Statue of Liberty or different things like that. Now, I will tell you, I used to date a girl on board. She's not here anymore. And we had a personal problem because she would only take pictures up and down. And we'd go out in port, she'd be taking pictures, and I would always correct her. And she would go, "Leave your work at work." I had a guy last cruise, I found out in the last class he was just voice recording what was going on, so it's fine. But he's sitting like this and taking the whole class. I'm like, oh God, I need to stop him. Here's the thing. When we take it up and down, you notice it only fills about a third of the screen. When we take it, oh wait, hold on. Let me get this. When we take it up and down, it only fills about a third of the screen. When we take it sideways, it fills a much larger portion of the screen. Now, it is in the manual that you all got with your iPhones or your iPads or your other devices like that, which was buried in your favorite places inside of iBooks, but it was in the manual that you should always take pictures like this, because this is the way pictures are designed to be taken. Is sideways with the camera at the top. Now, where's my Android people? Android person? You are going to be sideways, because your camera's in the middle, sideways, charger on the right. So where you would plug in the charger will be on your right. It's the same thing for Apple people. So sideways, charger on the right. Now here's the thing. What happens if you take pictures like this?
Go upside down.
Yeah, but you can go in and you can hit rotate, and then you can hit rotate again and you're good. But here's what happens if you take video like this.
I'm having trouble with the connection.
Oh, hi Siri, how are you?
Sorry.
But if I take,
trouble with the connection. Please try again.
If I take video like this, guess what happens to the video? It's upside down. Any of you ever rotated video before?
No.
It's a pain. I took a beautiful time lapse in Alaska. I will admit this. It was 6 o'clock in the morning when I started recording it, and I took it like this. You're going to see that time lapse tomorrow. I took it like this, and guess what? I had a beautiful 4K time lapse. It was upside down, and it took me 4 days to rotate it because it was 4K. It was really pretty, and I didn't have a super duper duper powerful computer. So we want to always take pictures this way. Now, again, always is a strong term, but here's the thing. If you have something like my orange water bottle, obviously, you've got to take it up and down. But generally, we want to take pictures in this way, because this is the same way that cameras would take pictures. And yes, I agree, if you have a 4x6 photo and you print it out, okay, you might want it that way. But generally, we're looking at these things on screens, which are wider than they are tall. Do we all agree with that? Generally, screens are screens other than our phones. So we want to make sure we hold our device sideways with the camera at the top when we take pictures. Now, tomorrow in here at 1 o'clock, we're going to be looking a lot into the camera. We're going to be looking at different ways to take pictures, different stuff like that, different camera gadgets. I brought one of them today. Where's one of them? I have a lot of camera gadgets. Here's a cool one. Where's my friend is that guy who had that awesome little tripod thing around? Where is he? He's not here. He didn't make it. This is actually really cool. You can take your phone, you can put it right in there, and it stabilizes it while you're taking video. Yeah, it's actually really quite cool. You can go in and you can stabilize it. But I'm going to show you some other really cool stuff like that. Now, I want to let you know, and it's a nerdy thing, I agree. I want to let you know some stuff we've got coming up over the cruise. Actually, I want to show you something with pictures. Here's the problem. We all know how to take pictures. a little breather. We have a reasonable idea of taking pictures. I'm gonna make you a little bit better at taking pictures tomorrow, but I wanna take it to the next level. I wanna see if this is something that you've had problems with before. This is my little commercial break I like to do, and it gives me a second to see where we all lie. Let me show you this, because I'm sure we've all experienced what I'm about to show you before.
Okay, just like that.
Alright, take a picture this side, ready?
1,
2, hey! Ah, I missed it. Do it again.
ready,
Yeah,
That's my question.
that's your question.
Oh, Laura's holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa all by her.
Take as many photos as you want without running out of space. Introducing Free Up Space. Never run out of storage again with Google Photos.
So, here's the really cool thing. What if I told you you could take all the pictures, all the video you wanted, and have access to them at any device at any time you wanted, and nobody's ever told you about this piece of software before?
Wow.
It's called Google Photos. Now, I'm going to give you a quick demo of it so you can kind of see what's going on, and then I have something my mom just brought me yesterday that I think is really cool to show you. Let me go to Google Photos. Google. So, there's a great application that works on iPhones and iPads and Androids and Windows and Mac called Google Photos, and I challenge anybody in this room to find me another place in the world where they teach Google Photos, because I've not found one myself. I actually teach this class because Google doesn't have any stores, and you'll notice, here's what's really cool. I took those pictures of her about 3 minutes ago on my iPhone. They're already up in Google Photos. I have 500,000 plus, there's more, I stopped counting at 500,000, photos and videos backed up in Google Photos for free. This is what's very cool. Now we've got some whole classes on this, but I want to give you an example. I'll show you something really cool. I can just type in Richard, that's me, Richard Aruba, and I'll show you what I did last, well hopefully. I'll show you what I did last Aruba. So February 11th. I went out and I went to the natural pool. We went on a 4x4 adventure to the natural pool. Took these little jeeps like this. We went out to the natural pool, and I'll show you something cool. I can go in and I've got all kinds of different effects and different things like that. But it actually identified me in Aruba. Now I can get a lot more specific though. I can type in Richard Lisbon ice cream. And it's going to find me in Lisbon with ice cream. Now this is October 25th, 2016. This is September 14th, 2016. And this is October 17th, 2013. Richard does like ice cream. But you know what Richard also likes? Richard and Leslie ship. Richard likes cruise ships. And celebrity ships. That's me as a kid on the, that's the Century. That's me as a kid on the Century. And there's my sister. And it actually identified Richard and Leslie as children on ships. But my mom brought me something on Embarkation Day. She brought me this thing. It's called a photo album. It's called an archaic thing of when we used to take and print photos. Actual photos. Because I'm going to show you. Let me make sure my mom didn't say anything super bad on my Facebook before I show this to you. But my mom started sending me all these pictures in Facebook. She comes across this photo album. And she starts sending me in Facebook. This is bad. I shouldn't show my mom's Facebook stuff, but hopefully there's nothing bad here. Okay.
Oh, we don't know.
Oh, we don't. Okay, so my mom starts sending me all these pictures. And they all came from this photo album right here. She starts sending me all the pictures, and I go, Mom, you're doing it wrong. She goes, what do you mean? Mom, you're doing it wrong. I go, you got to take the pictures and you got to digitize them. And the way most of us would digitize, we take it, we scan it, we put it in the scanner and everything like that. Where it gets very cool is Google Photos has actually solved this problem. They've made an app just to go ahead and scan in pictures. It's called photo scan. Now this is me as a child, and we can see this picture right here. And I'm going to put this right on the floor right here. You should be able to watch the screen and see what's going on. And I just moved to these circles here. And it's going to take those 5 pictures and combine them together into a perfect scan of that photo.
Called photo scan.
You had to take a picture of each circle.
So what it's doing is it's using the flash. So it's actually taking a picture. It's doing it automatically. It's guiding me to take a picture of each circle. And I can even assign, I have a date on the back. I can assign a date and it'll allow it to look for the specific date.
So it's called Google.
It's called, we're going to go over this all again later. It's called Google Photos, is the main application. We have a whole class just on Google Photos because I've never found anywhere else in the world that teaches Google Photos, so I want to do it. So we have a whole class just on Google Photos, and then I'm going to show you the photo scan application, and I have to digitize all these pictures because my mom gave me the album. She said, digitize these and then give them back to me. See, there's me and my sister. Oh, look how sexy I was. With those cargo shorts right there. But I'm going to scan those all in, and I can upload them automatically. Yeah?
Are all the photos on Google Photos, are they open to the public?
No, this is private.
Really?
This is completely private. So just so you see I'm not loading anything, someone name me a type of food.
Celery.
Strawberries. That's what I heard.
I was thinking that.
Someone said strawberries. I actually went to a strawberry theme park in Germany. I'm not 100% sure this is going to pull up, but this might find, oh, here we go. There's a lot of different strawberry things. Oh my, I must like strawberries.
I think you like cake.
I like cake. I like strawberries. I really like it all. But I can go through. We've got strawberry, strawberry, strawberry. I'm looking for one strawberry thing. Let me see if I can find this strawberry video. I don't know if it's going to be here. I told people why strawberries were called strawberries. No, it's not there. But do you know why strawberry is called strawberry?
No.
Because how you get the stem out, you take a straw and you push it through the strawberry and the stem comes out and then you can eat the whole strawberry just as it is. Yeah, it works. I made a whole video. I put it on YouTube. It's got 25,000 views. Why is strawberries called a strawberry? Yeah.
You get such detail and you're able to scan or search for so many different things. Are you go to the trouble of putting...
Here's the fun thing, and we're going to go through a whole thing. I just wanted to give you a quick overview, but here's the fun thing. All I have to do is tell it who people are, and everything else is automatic.
So it sees
Yes.
strawberries.
So to give you an example, I have a dog that's a boxer, and if I type in boxer, I get the boxer, as well as I get Mike Tyson. Because he's a boxer as well. See, there's the boxer, and then there's Mike Tyson. But if I get more definitive and I type in boxer dog, I won't get Mike Tyson.
You didn't label any of those pictures.
I didn't label any of those pictures.
Google recognizes.
Google automatically recognizes everything. It is insane, and this is the only place in the world you will learn about this, and we're going to be doing this. We have 2 different times we're going to do it. I want to let you know when we're going to take a look at it. We're going to do it in a small group as part of our iLearn VIP, which I'll explain in a second. It's the only thing you need to sign up for. But then we're also going to be doing it St. Kitts afternoon. I believe St. Kitts is like a 4 o'clock sale or 3:45 sale. Yeah, I think so. It's about a 3:45 in the afternoon sale. So St. Kitts afternoon at 4 o'clock, we're going to be in here taking a look at Google Photos. So I'm going to spend an hour just on what we were talking about. So I'm just getting you the concept, and I'm going to show you how the concept works. Yeah, Vince, what's up?
Video, will it work with video?
What? It will work with video, yes.
Totally?
Totally. Insane, yes. Watch this. Just for 2 seconds. Penguin, Spain, video. I can go in. These are videos of penguins in Spain. If I got rid of the word video, and just did penguin Spain, I get 4 pictures in a video. It's very, very cool. We're going to go through it in depth. I just want you to get your brain turning, that you can have unlimited storage of all of your photos and videos. It doesn't matter if you use a Windows computer, a Mac computer, everything like that. But this does all rely, all this really cool stuff I'm telling you about, relies on you having a Google account of some sort. That's why I'm trying to prime you to this idea, because I want to show you all the cool things a Google account gets you. Yeah, Vince, what's up?
If we take a picture of you and don't label your name, will it pick that up from someplace else?
No, so your labels are private labels. Some celebrities will be automatically identified. Like I could put in Tom Cruise. My sister's taken pictures with Taylor Swift in a wax museum before. It identifies public figures, but it won't identify, those labels are to yourself. We're going to go through all of that there. Now, I want to let you know what else we have going on. So every C-Day at likely 1 o'clock in here, we're going to have something. I'm going to give you an idea of what we're going to do. So today, whatever we did, I'm not 100% sure, but Travel Tech 101. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the camera on the devices. Because here's the thing. How many of us own a separate camera, a big, sexy camera? But the camera, the best camera you have is the one you always have with you.
Right.
So it's very simple. The name of tomorrow's class is the camera you always have with you. Now, I actually have something very interesting in this cruise. Have any of you ever heard of or seen or have a GoPro? Yes. So at 4 o'clock today in my office on deck 6, I'm going to be doing a little thing on the GoPro. I'm going to bring up my GoPro. I'm going to let you know it is going to get a little nerdy. We're going to talk about frame rates and resolutions and stuff like that, but things you need to know if you have a GoPro or you're interested in a GoPro. But every single C-Day, so on the C-Days after the port days we have coming up, we're going to be taking a look at apps, and we're going to take a look at the cloud, and what you're going to notice is you guys found this room early. Vince will tell you last week, by the cloud, it was standing room only in here. You couldn't get a seat last week. I like to do, no one else does a class on the first day. I do a class on the first day because I like to reward you for finding it early, and there's some stuff I showed today. We're not going to talk about Wi-Fi calling and airplane mode and stuff like that again, but I've added something very, very cool, and we have 2 possible times we do it. If it gets too busy, I've got another time. At 8 p.m. on each of the port nights, other than the overnight, we have our iLearn Tech Tips. The first one's going to be on the Apple TV. The second one is going to be on Facebook Messenger and Gmail and Amazon and YouTube and Netflix and every port night. We've got something a little bit different. It's not in the morning because I'm not awake at 8 in the morning. It's at 8 o'clock at night in between the dinner and the show. It's only a 20-minute course. It's up in the iLounge on deck 6. So always our 1 o'clock classes are going to be right in here. But we're going to have some stuff in the iLounge on deck 6. And the last thing we have is something, I like to do something a little bit more intensive. Let me pull it up real quick so you can see what's going on. Pull up something a little more intensive. That is, there are 6 hours of classes, which are the only 6 hours you need to sign up for. They start tomorrow at 3:30 is the first one, and it's only 20 people in there. They're an hour and a half each. They're from 3:30 until 5 on each of the remaining C-Days after today. My absolute favorite one, gotta wear the safari hat. It's my smartphone photo safari. We're going to talk about the camera and different things. Well, we're going to talk about the camera tomorrow. Oh, that was really weird. You sound very different when you're wearing the safari hat. Okay.
But you're hearing differently.
I'm hearing differently. I don't know. So we're going to go around the ship and we're going to take what we did tomorrow in the 1 o'clock class and put it into practice. And we're going to talk about the rule of thirds, vanishing effects, different really cool stuff like that. After that, the original Google Photos class was designed to teach in a group of 20 people. Now, the problem was I did it on my transatlantic cruise, and I only had to teach it 14 times. Do you think I loved that class after teaching an hour and a half class 14 times? So as part of the VIP, I have the original Google Photos class. We're going to do one in here, but I have the original coming up. And then we've got advanced smartphone tips and advanced smartphone apps. I do want to say that the VIP ones, the ones you sign up for, I am going to stick to primarily Apple stuff. So if you don't have an Apple device and you have an Android device, everything I've shown in here will work in some way, shape, or form on iOS and on Android and all those. But the stuff we're going to do in here is available on all of the different ones. And those are the only ones you need to sign up for. So we have 25 different courses over this cruise, ranging from stuff in here at 1 o'clock every C-Day to 8 o'clock on most port evenings. We're going to be doing a little topic on all kinds of different things. And some, Vince is my buddy. He's been hanging out. He's come to almost every single one of them. I think he missed one of them last cruise. He missed one class last cruise, so he didn't get his perfect attendance. But we're going to be taking a look at all kinds of different things. You will see it in your daily program. It's called iLearn. Understand that the topics might not always be super self-evident, and that's cool, because I want it to be a little bit out there. And the most important thing, the last class of the cruise, because this is the question I get more than anything else, the last class of the cruise, which is at 1 o'clock on the last C day, so Saturday, 2 Saturdays from now, 1 o'clock, we're going to be talking about setting up a Gmail account and moving your other account over to Gmail. Moving your contacts, moving your mail, moving everything over to Gmail. And the nice thing about the Google Photos and the Gmail, and if you've known me for years, you're going to go, what's wrong with you, Richard? I have handouts. I know. On the Google Photos and the Gmail, and I've never done handouts before, but it is that important to me that you guys get over to that I've made handouts. I have the information up here on the VIP classes if you want to find out what's going on. Elsewise, I will see you back in here either at 1 o'clock tomorrow for the camera class or up in the island at 4 o'clock. We're going to be looking at the GoPro today. That's it. Bye!